Hi. So I am Kara, JR's girlfriend, for those of you who don't already know. And we've been talking about, debating about, kicking and screaming, me changing, altering the way that I am eating. And things are working extremely well. Um, like my body is working extremely well, not things. And I wanted to share that with you because I've put in some really terrific changes and or omitted certain things from my diet, and I wanted to make comment on what JR has been talking about, because I know that I don't usually make comment at all on his commentary, because I've got several other projects going on simultaneously, so I feel kind of guilty. Anyway, so here I am. Hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's over there, but you can't see him.
Hi, Cara.
Hi. So ask me something.
Well, what are the results that you've noticed, first of all?
Well, I've lost some weight, which is good always for
About,
us
about,
ladies.
about how much?
I don't know. I haven't weighed myself, but my clothes are fitting better, so I'd say about 5 pounds.
Oh, okay. In
Like
what
that.
period of time?
About maybe a month.
Okay, so
A month.
pretty moderate speed.
Pretty moderate speed,
Huh?
pretty effortlessly, actually. Like not really thinking about doing that, just paying attention to what I'm eating.
And what other results, before we get to what you've been eating and not eating, what other results?
Other results? Oh, I'm not yelling at you so much. I still yell at him, but not as much as I did before. Though I'm kidding, but my mood has shifted a lot. I mean, um, at my age, I was noticing like what people would call, what a lot of female friends of mine who are in my age group would call PMS, um,
Or premenopausal?
premenopausal stuff. And I kind of just equated it to being, well, that's what I'll have to go through at this time of my life. But now I've discovered, since putting these shifts in, that those symptoms have all but disappeared.
What were some of the symptoms? More specifically?
Moodiness, and my menstrual cycle was not irregular, but it was different than it was when I was younger. I was getting more cramps. Sometimes it was longer, stronger, whatever, different things. And now it's gosh, I don't have symptoms at all. I'm not cranky. I'm not bloated. I'm not anything. And it's just a regular, healthy thing, which is great. I mean, I didn't know that I'm not telling my age, but I didn't know that at my age that I would know that that would be the case. So that's quite a lovely, pleasant surprise.
Okay, so you mentioned loss of about 5 pounds in a month,
Yes?
and now, since I mentioned a month,
Yeah.
has it been a couple months that you've noticed the more moderate experience of menstruation and mood in general across the whole month? Because I don't know that we plan any particular time that you're going to start any particular change you've made in your diet. So that's what
No,
I'm
no,
asking.
no. I mean, I think what I have noticed is it's been about 7 weeks now that I put the changes in. And so it seems to me that I've had 2 cycles. The first one, I didn't notice so much of a change because I hadn't been doing this that long. But certainly the last cycle that I had, it was amazing. I mean, I noticed, like, I didn't know. It took me by surprise, which was shocked me. I'm like,
What took you by surprise?
my cycle took
That
me
it
by
actually
surprise.
was there because you normally have symptoms of
Yeah, like
various
I
complaints,
know
right?
exactly. I know by the second, basically, based on how my mood is, what my body is, and doing, and all that stuff. And I didn't go through any of that, which was quite lovely.
Okay. So that's some pretty, for me, a 5 pound weight loss or a 5 pound weight gain for somebody underweight, that's nice. The shift in your kind of general experience
Yeah.
is a pretty big thing, especially with regard to some of the more, I mean, people, women and men complain about various PMS things and cramping and pain and irritability. There's kind of a list of things that, at least in regard to irritability, lots of people
Right.
experience that.
Right.
Um,
And I should share something too, since I'm being so honest with the whole thing. I also have fibroids, and I think a lot of women my age, 30s or 30s to 50s, have fibroids. It's no big deal. I mean, it's kind of like the way it is, right? Except I'm noticing that even that has shifted. Like they're smaller and the symptoms around them is almost gone. And I'm not taking medication. I'm not, and that's a really wonderful, beautiful thing that I don't have to worry about, you know, I'm not worried about having to get a hysterectomy. I'm not worried about having to do a lot of things that, I could be. Certainly because, and it seems it's such a simple shift. Um, but it's an imperative shift. I think more people need to do it. Obviously. I mean, it's not by simply changing our diets, we can like be extremely healthy and not dependent upon drugs that may seemingly be solving one symptom and yet generating some other symptom. Like if you touch them when you're pregnant, you might not have your baby. Kind of craziness. Anyway.
Okay. You mentioned about a month of the weight loss, about 7 weeks in relation to something else. And then with the fibroids, I remember you mentioning that quite a while ago. When did you first notice a change with that?
Oh, by the way, I should probably include this. That's not a cat growing out of my head. She's on the couch. Looks like she's going out of my head.
Which is not related to diet.
No, not at all. Just thought I'd include it in the conversation. What were you saying?
I remember you commenting on the shift in your experience of the fibroids a long time ago. Like how long ago did you first notice that?
That was, I guess, pretty much when it first started,
But like how long ago was that? Like talking about 5-6 months, right?
Yeah, well, we started doing some things 6 months ago. Yeah, right. That we had.
So we've set up, a few different kind of results. Obviously, there are things that, one of the things I think of is just energy. There's a variety of things we can comment on. I don't know if you want to pick up on energy quick, but
no, I don't know enough about the energy concept.
No, I just mean how much energy you have. How much?
Oh, that kind of energy. I'm so sorry. Yes, that kind of energy I can definitely comment on. Yeah, I have a lot more energy than I did before. I'm just not as tired. My eyesight is better, which I was amazed by, actually. Yeah, my eyesight has gotten better, and when I say that, like, I'm not certainly as fatigued when I'm driving. That's the most noticeable difference. Like, I did a lot of driving yesterday, and it was effortless. It was really no big deal. And that was surprising to me, too.
Okay, so... And I don't know if you want to comment. I'm trying to put things in time.
Okay.
And how did you start noticing the thing about energy quite a while ago, or is that another month-long thing, or what?
Well, I guess everything's been kind of gradual, and it's certainly nothing. Changes have not been happening like overnight. I notice it.
Except in the case of certain things, but you haven't commented on those, and we might stick those in as a side note at the end.
Okay.
But so now my thought is, since you've established a couple different time frames, months ago the fibroids started to diminish.
Mm-hmm.
A couple months ago, or a couple menstrual cycles ago, the mood shift, and I think your energy was that when the energy shift started.
Right.
And then weight in the last several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So you could comment now on some of the different changes you've made over the time, because it has been incremental and you've tried different things, and then if you want to put in the thing about breathing and the quick changes that you noticed in breathing and what product you use, that's fine. I know it's not really related to.
I could only mention
throw it in if you want.
Kind of an overview of the product because I don't know the full name of it. I'd like to be able to do it.
You can show it.
I could show it. But yes, I could mention it. Okay, so there's several things that we've been doing.
But start with the oldest thing.
The oldest thing that we've been doing is raw milk. Huge proponent of raw milk. Born and raised in Philadelphia, I think we had, when I say raw milk, I mean milk that's not pasteurized. Pasteurization, many of you probably know this or not, but pasteurization is supposedly making milk healthy. Well, that's a misnomer. It's a process by which milk is heated at very, very high temperatures to supposedly kill off germs in it. Well, in reality, what it does is it kind of kills off the enzymes and shifts it molecularly so that, for one thing, I think probably the most important aspect of the high heat in milk when you get to pasteurized is that now, correct me if I'm wrong. Jeffrey's actually really better at explaining this than I am, but it shifts the is it now, get me if I'm wrong here, but it bonds the fats to the sugars. Is that what it does? At any rate, the fat that normally wouldn't be, or is it fat or the sugar that wouldn't be absorbed?
I don't know.
I believe it's actually, maybe it's the sugar. One of the things,
think of it as,
but the molecules bond,
Yeah,
and it's then different elements are able to pass through your intestines, through your system, that would not normally be able to do that. And it's really one of the primary causes why Americans are so overweight across the board. You know, it is because of the pasteurization of milk, and it's also, so there's basically three things, but it's also because of the amount of sugar in our diet, which is insane. Sugar is not something that human beings are really, you know, we weren't created eating sugar. It's something that, in its natural state, within very limited quantities, is probably fine. But cane syrup, as you guys know, is in everything. I've cut sugar out. Corn.
You said cane.
I said cane? Corn syrup. Well, I said cane because it's also called cane syrup in certain instances. It's hidden under the, and I only know that because I've started really being scrutinous or going through reading labels, and it's in everything. I don't know about you, but when I make my natural 100% organic guacamole, there is no cane sugar, syrup, anything in it, and it was like the second ingredient on the all-natural organic guacamole that I didn't buy. So, it just, and I'm saying that because if you think about it, sugar is sticky, right? It's like if you melt it, it becomes this substance and it gets hardened. Well, it does the same thing in our systems. It makes sense, right? It doesn't, once it goes in, it doesn't completely change. And it does harden stuff up. And I'm not, again, I am, as you could tell, I don't know all of the language around what this does to our systems, but what I can attest to is by cutting it out of my system, I've noticed a tremendous difference. So much so that about 2 weeks ago, at work we have all kinds of snacks. I mean, we have a great office, and our boss provides us with snacks during the day. And I had a half a bag of the low-fat popcorn, smart pop, I guess it is. Half a bag of that, and I had one cookie, and I think a little bag of Fritos or something. That was what I had during the day. When I got home, I was sneezing and coughing, itchy throat, watery eyes, the whole thing. I said, wow, when I've detoxed my system from these processed oils and these and sugars, so one day that that's what happened to me. And then maybe about a week ago, I shared a cheesesteak with a friend of mine, and normally if I get a cheesesteak, I don't eat the bread because I'm not eating grains either. Well, I went into I had a reaction to the bread, and that's just because my system is now cleansed of this stuff, and it's letting me know I'm not really supposed to have this. This isn't really working that much for me. So instead of holding on to what's a toxin to my system and then having my body withhold water in order to help fight it off, which it doesn't have to do, that which is part of the weight gain when we puff up. It's it's just a really miraculous thing, and I'm kind of watching, what's going on. And as Jeffrey says, I don't need to experiment anymore with my food to find out what I can't eat. He's like, you're done now, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. So all that is being said. Is that good?
Well, let's review a couple quick points. So you mentioned that milk, you started the raw milk, the unpasteurized fresh raw milk, which we have here if you want to hold it up.
Okay.
It's open.
Oops, I'm not going to drink. Okay, wait.
We got that from Cream Creek, Arizona. Save your dairy.
Oops, sorry. Where's the label? There it is. Clean Creek. Yay, save our dairy. Fabulous dairy. I'm not doing very well at this. I'm so sorry. There we go.
Trying to hold the label where
Yeah,
I can see
there it is. Um, really wonderful, wonderful people. Great dairy in Queen Creek.
So,
and they sell raw milk, and we make our trip regularly about every 2 weeks to get 4 to 6 gallons.
So we got the milk going. You hadn't had that until several months ago, and once you started that, that was soon after that is when you noticed the diminishing of the fibroids. So I wanted to connect the behavioral changes to the experiential results a little bit. Then, what are some of the changes you started maybe 7 weeks ago prior to noticing that mood stability and that energy, extra energy?
7 weeks ago. Oh,
something like 7 weeks ago.
You mean some of the food changes?
Exactly, the behavioral changes in terms of what you eat.
Oh, okay. Well, the sugar, that was a big deal.
What do you mean the sugar? You cut out?
I stopped adding sugar to anything in the form. When I say sugar, I mean I don't use white sugar. Certainly, brown sugar, agave syrup, anything that's sweet just doesn't go in my food.
And how much bread do you eat in general now?
None.
You stopped eating buns.
No buns.
And I don't know if it was 7 weeks ago, but it was around your birthday when you read this, right?
Around my birthday, because guess what I got for my birthday? Yes, Deep Nutrition. Guess who gave this to me? Yes, Jeffrey gave this to me for my birthday. So we started reading it. And then he also gave us, this is his Primal, Mr. Primal Man. Okay.
She hasn't read it yet.
I haven't read this book yet.
I just finished it. I read it first.
But another thing that we do in our household, which I never thought I would do, is I marinate meat a lot. Jeffrey marinates meat, meaning we take steak or ground beef and we cut it up and then we put apple cider vinegar in it and we eat it because literally the vinegar, quote, cooks the meat. So that's actually really great.
And a lot of times you'll heat it up on the skillet.
Listen, I will sear a piece of meat in a minute. I eat it, very, very, very rare in between. But I certainly do occasionally eat the marinated meat as it is, and I love it. It's good.
Okay, and so you cut the sugar out and the carbs out about 7 weeks ago after you read Deep Nutrition, the first book you held up.
Yes.
And I don't know, did you start? It's been a little bit more gradual that you were eating more and more of the marinated meat and stuff like that, right?
Well, when I first met Jeffrey, he told me that he eats raw meat and he does a lot of different things that I would probably never consider doing.
You've also...
But I have incorporated many of those.
Well, we make these smoothies in the morning, and we'll use raw milk a lot. Sometimes we let it advance towards cottage cheese or yogurt, things like that.
Which you can do with raw milk. Raw milk doesn't, quote, go bad like other milk. You know, what I didn't realize is that cottage cheese is made by taking real raw milk and sitting it on the counter. It turns into cottage cheese or it turns into yogurt by itself. You don't have to do anything to it. I didn't know that. I thought there was like stuff you did.
Well, you can add rennet to it.
You rennet, and there's other things you can add to it. Yes, I realized. But what I didn't know is that if you sit raw milk on the counter and you can keep it outside of the refrigerator, it will over several days. It will turn into cottage cheese. It tastes like cottage cheese, only better because it's raw milk. It doesn't go rancid. Whereas, certainly if you take pasteurized milk out of the refrigerator for an hour or two, no one in their right mind would want to. Yeah, you'll get sick. Exactly. You can't.
Your body will reject that.
Yeah.
So what I was actually mentioning was with the smoothies, you've had the raw milk in the smoothies for quite a while, but it probably has been something like 7 weeks that you've been putting 1 and 2 raw eggs in just a couple times a week. I know you don't do that every day, but...
Well, right, because we add raw eggs to our smoothie, and again, it's great. It's added protein, and it's very, very healthy. We do use organic food whenever we can, but yeah.
And anything that you changed in the last 4 weeks, or was there a particular thing you were mentioning? What was that last? I think it was the first thing you mentioned. Oh, the weight loss. Was there? I think the reduction of carbs was a factor in the weight loss. Anything else that you think of as a behavior change in the diet?
No, I think those are the main things. And it was only a challenge until it wasn't. And I think it was a challenge until I my system had a reaction to going back to business as usual, and it's just not worth the cost. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Okay, do you want to comment on this right here?
Oh,
And
yeah.
First, the
Actually,
results
this is actually really great. This
results you got?
is a product by.
Before you tell them the product, tell them what you got.
Oh,
the results.
Sorry. Okay, I don't have the product yet. Okay, so the results I got from using this particular product that I can't mention yet. Okay, so I have allergic asthma. I've had it for a long, long time. And I've been, I have a cat with no fur, but still, I can have a reaction to her. And I was having a more difficult time breathing, and my just allergic reactions that go along with that, itchy eyes, etc. And then also I was snoring a lot, and that was costing, in relationships, snoring is just not cute. So anyway, they were the two primary issues that I was interested in dealing with when I approached our friend about this product. Our friend Carl Freestone, which you probably, if you're reading Jeffrey's blog and are connected to him, you know who he is. Anyway, Dr. Freestone recommended this product, and it's pretty amazing. And you're supposed to. It says to take it 2 times a day. I take it 3 times a day because I've noticed taking that extra dose in the afternoon, if I'm home all day, makes a tremendous difference. My skin is clear. I mean, I have good skin anyway, but I've noticed a difference with that. But certainly, my snoring is all but gone, and my allergies are. It's amazing what this stuff is doing with my allergies, as far as dissipating them. So it's all good. So now I think you're probably tired of now the wonderment of the fireplace behind me and the cat coming out of my head is probably gone. But I really appreciate having you listen to me. And wait. I'm getting ready to sign off, but I'm being told to wait. Yes?
What was the product?
Oh.
Now you can tell them after you tell them.
I'm so sorry.
I was going to say, just real quick, did you start this about 4 weeks
ago?
No,
I did. Okay. Goodness, you know what he's doing? He's pulling things out of the closet that I've been using so that I don't forget. I am so sorry.
Well, I was just thinking was about 4 years ago. 4 weeks
4
ago.
years.
Well, the thing is, I wanted you to say the results before you even process what did I do different. That's really what I wanted you to do.
But I have now.
A clean result of.
But these are all the results. So now I'm going to show you the stuff that I've been doing. So I told you about the raw milk, and this is Isotonics OPC3. This is like my miracle elixir.
It's got things like grapeseed extract in it. It's not.
It's
OPC just is one of those abbreviated names for.
Yeah, it's a super powerful antioxidant. Yeah. I love this stuff. This is like awesome, and I don't sell it. I just really like it.
But we know where to get it.
We know where to get it, and these are my kings. I love these omega-3s, fish oil, the bomb, awesome stuff. Really awesome. When did you
start using those?
About 7 weeks ago.
Was that okay?
7 weeks?
I thought I was more like 4. That's what I was.
Okay, 4 weeks ago. I don't know. He's going in the closet. You're getting the picture, right? Okay, so it's like if you have a really brilliant boyfriend who tells you to try these things and then you do and it works, you just listen. That's where I'm at with this. So he's pulling things out of our kitchen cabinet that we use every day so that I can expound on them because they really do make a difference. And I haven't been, I'm not telling the whole world about them. And now I am. So omega-3s, OPC3, and raw milk.
And you had mentioned the thing about, just as a note, you had mentioned cutting out sugar and cutting out some of those low-quality oils.
Oh, yes.
So when you were doing the OPC, you could use the OPC and it would, subside your symptoms, but it's easier to simply do OPC and not eat that stuff.
Oh, yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, there are lots of things that are quick fixes. There are lots of things that will temporarily alter how your body is doing certain things. And unfortunately, whether they're natural products or not, if the fuel that you're putting in your body isn't doing what it needs to do to keep your body healthy and happy and running, well, it doesn't matter how many quick fixes you do, it's still going to revert back to what it needs to do to fight off what you're putting in. This doesn't make much sense.
I got it. Actually, what you're saying is if you put crap in, then your body's going to do things like have teary eyes and runny nose to get stuff out.
Exactly.
You didn't say it that way, but I got the
Thank you, but that's what I meant. Thank you for knowing what I meant.
And the idea with the antioxidants is if your body can process and handle those things even more efficiently than with a runny nose, then of course it will.
Yeah.
So that's why the nutritional support of the antioxidants is favorable, whether or not you're eating carbohydrates and gluten and what's the other the low quality vegetable oils.
But see, I don't know about you. At least for talking to ladies here. Okay, if I can do something that's gonna keep my skin healthy and not wrinkled, and my teeth healthy, and my feet. Jeffrey, you can't see him. He's pointing to my feet because I have calluses like a lot of people do. But I've now have discovered that by cutting out the sugar and the oil, the calluses are diminishing in a way that they have probably never done. And so, oh my goodness, I can actually wear heels again, which is kind of, I didn't think I'd be able to do that. Anyway.
I got a question. What are the oils that you are using vegetable source?
There's 2 oils that I use. I use olive oil, yummy, delicious olive oil. But even better than olive oil is coconut oil. And the reason I use coconut oil for everything. I cook with it. I put it in my hair. I put it on my skin. I love coconut oil. But coconut oil it doesn't break down on the cellular level. It doesn't break down the way other oils do. Canola oil, oof, that stuff is I can say it's a killer, and we don't even know. We act like it's really healthy, like in lieu of corn oil. No, sorry guys, it's not. At any rate, those are the 2 oils. They're the only 2 oils we have in this house. Anything else?
Fish oils.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, we have 3 oils. We got fish oil, we have olive oil, and we have coconut oil.
But we don't cook with fish oil.
No, we don't cook with fish oil.
Okay.
Okay. So again, thank you for listening, and do comment on Jeffrey's blog. If you have questions and things like that. We are surrounded by really brilliant people who have a level of knowledge about this study of nutrition. And Jeffrey, I didn't even know this, is quite extremely knowledgeable on it, and pretty much has it down to a science of mastery. So do contact him. Okay? Thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye.